I'm Harriet and I'm going to show you how to make a bowl. In my last video we made a cylinder and I'm just going to bring it out into a bowl. So, when you've made a cylinder, we're going to water the walls, and if you're making a bowl you want a cylinder with a little bit of a curve on the base. You can see this cylinder is too tall for me to connect my hands easily in like this, so I'm going to use this finger down here and use my two thumbs to connect together. I'm going to slow the wheel a bit compared to how it was when I was making the cylinder, and I'm going to pull the wheel again, but this time my inside fingers are spread slightly. So as you come up, you'll see I'm throwing with my central finger against this outside finger, and there's two fingers either side of it that are slightly spread out. And this means that as I come up, the cylinder also spreads out. I'm going to stop here so that there's a little bit of thickness left on the very rim. So these three fingers, this is the finger I'm throwing with against this one, and these spread out to widen the cylinder. And as I move upwards, I widen it a little bit more towards the top. So I'm going to do that again. And I'm aiming for a straight wide side. I'm not aiming to put any curve in the bowl at the moment. So here we go once more. A little bit of pressure. Moving up the bowl. Widening that cylinder out. Until the very top is the widest part. Once I've widened it enough to put my hand inside, I'm going to take that water out. And you can continue with that process of widening the bowl and then shaping it, or you can use a rib. So I'm going to show you how to use a rib. First I'm going to rib off the outside. This is just because as the bowl widens it's going to get harder to clean the outside off. So I'm going to use a straight rib and run it up the outside of the bowl, and this is just to get the slip off. So you can see I'm left with this wet slippy stuff. It's going to make it easier to take the bowl off the wheel head if I don't have slip on it. I'll do that once more. Following that straight-sided widening shape. Next thing I'm going to do is take a rib which has a curve on it. You don't want any points, so I wouldn't use a rib like this because this point is going to stick into the edge of the bowl. And I'm going to take it down near the bottom but not touching the base of the bowl. I'm holding it with this hand like this, and this hand is being a support. And I'm going to put slight outward pressure, and you can see the shape of the bowl beginning to change as I slowly move the rib up the bowl. So I'm bringing that shape outwards. I'm not trying to do it all at once, I'm just bringing it out slightly. When I get to the very top, I'm going to accentuate how far that rim goes out so that it's ready for me to work towards in the next pull-up. So I'm really pushing that rim out at the top. That means that if I push out below it, it's not going to collapse inwards. So I'm going to do the same thing. I can get a little bit lower to try and smooth that curve off. I'm going to push outwards very gently again, and I'm working towards that rim that I've already pushed out. So you can see I come up nice and slowly. Don't worry if it all seems to go off centre, it'll come back to centre as you come upwards. There it is, it's centering out a bit. I'm going to push it out a little bit again. Ready for one more pull. And I'm going to do the same thing once more. So I go, right, I can reach easily into the bottom of the bowl now. Gentle pressure with the rib. You never want to put too much pressure right down near the base of the bowl. You don't want a bowl that bulges out right at the bottom. You want a smooth, regular curve up towards the rim. Just try and keep a steady movement up towards the rim. You don't need to push it out this time. There's your bowl shape. So that's quite a straight-sided bowl. At this point you can start to think about changing the shape. It's stronger when it's got these straighter sides, but if you want to really give it a curve, you can then play with the rib and push out. So I'm going to push out a little bit more around here to give it a bit more of a bellied curve. Make it a little bit closer to a half circle, half sphere. There we go. Find a chamois, soak it in water so that it's nice and soft, and slow the wheel a bit. I'm just going to chamois that rim so that it's a nice soft curve. I can push it out a little bit, roll the rim out slightly, and there's your bowl. You can wire it off and you're done.